Well, in Bad Company 2, the big pilot technique to use was to circle strafe around a base. Obviously, I haven't seen any circle strafing in the piloting seat in Battlefield 3. So, what's the technique that you feel that is most used by most pro pilots? Is it just stay low all the time?
That's what most people use, yeah, because as I mentioned, if you stay low, it's very hard for the enemy to lock onto you because you've got buildings everywhere, you've got hills you can hide behind, and any of them, if you stay below them, if you stay behind them long enough, you break the lock and they can't launch missiles to take you down. So that's obviously very useful. However, when they're going to attack a certain target, they will get up high and then go very slowly around. Circle strafing is a lot harder in Battlefield 3 than it was in Bad Company 2, which is probably why less people are doing it. But it can be very effective in the right circumstances. Of course, with the stingers and everything else, you basically paint yourself as a big target in the air if you're hanging around over a certain area for too long. So a good tactic to use is if you don't want to hang around over a target, is to do what you did with the tank skins. So start high, come in for quite a steep trajectory, fire your missiles, get your gunner to hit the targets, pull up, go around for another attack.
So, as far as you placing yourself in the position of the enemy, when you're in the air flying the chopper, what do you fear worst? Do you fear the jets or the helicopters or people on the ground? What's your biggest fear in the chopper that's going to take you down?
Personally, my biggest fear are the lampposts. Um, but apart from them, the biggest fear that I have are the jets. Their chain guns will rip you to shreds before you can even react to it. So for this reason, if you think that a jet is following you, and it's very handy to have other members of your team spotting the jets for you and telling you when there's one on your tail, you've got to try and get out of there. Now remember, you are more mobile than the jets, so try and get down, turn, follow the roads, follow the buildings. They can't touch you then. If you can then get behind them, lock onto them, good for you. If you can't, call in a friend with a jet to take them out. Otherwise, if you stick around, you're going to be dead. No question about it.
What do you think about the techniques? Have you seen much difference as far as like on Wake Island, where you have the jets that can actually hover? Is that going to give you a more difficult time, do you think, with the helicopters?
So I find with the jets, if they go into hover mode, it's actually very easy for the helicopter to take them out because when they're a stationary target, the gunner's gun is very effective against it. They can, like the jet's chain gun on us, if we get some shots off at the jet, we can disable it very quickly. And obviously, if it's sitting there, I can easily lock on with my rockets. It's more like chopper-to-chopper combat when the jets are hovering, except they have more of a disadvantage because they're not as maneuverable, even when they're in hover mode. I'm trying to think, just for helicopter combat, basically the highest guy wins. If you're trying to lock on to a helicopter that is above you, you're going to have to angle up, and that makes your chopper fly backwards and down. Keep doing this for long enough, you crash into the ground and do the enemy's job for it. Try and get as high as possible. If the enemy is following you, again, try and get fast and low, build up speed by going into a steep dive. Try and lose it by doing some tight maneuvers, and then back up again. And then you seriously need to try and get as high as possible. The highest person wins in chopper combat.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Whenever I first started flying, that was one of my biggest problems. Was I would see a chopper and I'd raise up trying to get a lock on it, and then I'd fly right into the ground. So, very good tip.
But my take-home message is learn how to fly low level. Low level, basically you're untouchable if you can keep up and not crash into any lampposts.
All right, well, that does it for this video. Thanks, Rodders, for coming on, and take those tips with you. And if you do, I'm sure you're going to improve your skill in the helicopter. So as always, please comment, like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Cheers.